Alright, peace and greetings, YouTubers. So, the 2017 VMAs. Can I just be honest? This show was too long. It is way too long for no reason. Like, it's like being held hostage sometimes. Like, I will say that this show was a lot better than last year. But my God, do we really got to be here for 3 hours? Like, this is like sitting in a DMV sometimes. Like, my attention span gives out after about an hour and 40 minutes. And so when I got to sit for another hour and some more change on top of that, I'm done. Like, I have no energy, I'm drained. My excitement goes out the window, and then I'm extra critical of them last acts that always perform at the end. Like, it's really like just sitting in the DMV. You're just sitting there waiting for your number to be called, and there's nothing else to do because the entire environment is just miserable. My God, like MTV, I suggest like they need to invest in like getting the show to be commercial free and cutting that crap down to like an hour and 45 minutes. Like, if you could just have it be a straight hour and 45 minutes, no breaks, no nothing, just go, it'd be a lot better because they got too many commercial breaks. The mess drags on, and they probably could have gotten rid of like 3 or 4 performers because they didn't need all them people because some of them didn't have to be there today, which we'll get into. But I will say that this year was a lot better than last year. They still had that issue with the whole diversity thing and trying to have better representation of the different genres and everything there, but I will say they did a better job than last year, and it seems like they had a budget this year. So anyway, let me get into the performances. So, as black people, we be complaining because there'd be 2 black people at every VMA, so they decided to have 3 this year. So they had Kendrick Lamar open it. Kendrick was cool. He did DNA, and he did, I think he did Humble. I can't remember. I think it was Humble, yeah. And so, of course, Kendrick, everybody loves Kendrick. There's not much you can really say about Kendrick. Now, I will say, the whole fire thing, I was like, oh, okay, they playing with matches and stuff in here now. You got to be careful because, man, I was a little paranoid sitting in there. I just had a flashback to one time. I was in Brooklyn with a friend, and we went to their friend's show. Their friend was in like this rock band, and so we were in some little random underground club that was like the size of my living room, and they're playing the band, doing all the little heavy metal stuff, and I forgot that some of these clubs, they start doing that mosh pit crap, and so all of them are jumping and spinning and flipping, doing what they do, and all of the little tables had these little tiny candles on them. And so homeboy on the corner did some kind of random jump and lunged across and almost hit our table and almost knocked our candle over. I was like, they about to burn us out here. The way I got up and blew out every candle at every table, because I was like, I will not be the one to burn up in there. So I got a little nervous when the homeboy came on the stage and he was in flames. I was like, they better go ahead and spray him like real soon. But Kendrick was cool. And then right after Kendrick, they went right into Sheeran. And by the way, I had no idea Ed Sheeran was British. I know he's been out for a long time, but I don't think I've ever paid attention to none of his interviews. I always thought he was from like some backwoods Kentucky type place, but no, he's from the UK. I said, okay. But his performance was alright as well. He had, what's it, Lil Uzi came out with him too. I think that's his name, right? Lil Uzi Vert, something like that. I like him. He always has like a really happy energy. Like, he always seems happy to be wherever he's at. I don't know what world he's in or what mushrooms he's using, but I rock with him a little bit because he's just different and he's a free spirit and he just does his own thing. So it was unique that they had, Ed Sheeran and it's Lil Uzi Vert, right? If I'm saying the name wrong, forgive me. I don't pay attention to the new kids like that. But that was interesting. That was an interesting dynamic they had. So, both performances were pretty cool. I wasn't mad at all. He almost low-key was giving better vocals than Ed Sheeran on some points, but I'll leave it alone. Let me see. And then I noticed, okay, so tonight was the night of attacking white supremacy. And I was like, okay, that's cool. My only beef is, there's been people who have been attacking that on their social media platforms and blogs and YouTube channels for years and get called all kind of names all the time. And tonight was just, for some reason, this was the year to make it all glamorized. And now it's cool for everybody to attack it. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm glad the message is getting out, but dang, y'all didn't have to call me the N-word all them years for saying the exact same thing. But whatever. And so they had that going. Taylor Swift's video premiered for the Look What You Made Me Do. I don't really care for the song. However, I thought the video was actually really, really good. Like, whoever directed that video, they put their foot in that video. I'm not even big on Taylor. She's not my kind of artist. Everything about her just rubs me the wrong way. But I will give her props when the props are due. That was a very unique video. I like that she was able to make fun of herself and pretty much call herself out or address what people have said about her. Even though I honestly think the Taylor that you see in that video is the Taylor that's been there the entire time. So, but that's my 2 cents. But I thought that was a pretty interesting video to watch. That song, I'm not really too big on. She could have did a little better than that, but it is what it is. She's Taylor Swift, so she'll sell 100,000 million copies and sell out some more stadiums and win more awards and win Grammy the year next year, something like that, but whatever. I miss Shawn Mendes. I saw a piece of it. I don't really have a whole lot to say on Shawn Mendes. He's growing on me, but he's cool for what it is. What I did notice this year, whoever was the cameraman kept catching all the pan outs that were like real shady. Every time they would pan to somebody in the audience, they would never look impressed. Like, it didn't matter who was performing. Every time they panned to the audience, everybody just looked over. And I was like, who was in charge today? Like, they were catching everything. All right. But, oh yeah, let me get to this part. So, Lord, this is the issue I had. So, first, I was getting ready to really go in on Lord, especially on like Twitter, and then somebody was like, oh my God, don't be so cruel. She had the flu. She went on stage and performed with the flu. And I was like, okay. Because first I was like, why is this girl on stage without a mic and she's up here doing this weird ass dancing that she's doing? Like, first of all, I was like, what in the bird is cold in here, bring it on mess is she on the stage doing with these spirit fingers? Because one, it wasn't like she was dancing that good anyway. I'm sitting here watching this mediocre ass dancing, and I'm like, what's going on? And then everybody's like, no, well, she has the flu. And I was like, okay, so that explains why she's not singing. Cool. But I was like, honestly, if you had the flu, you should have stayed home. And I'm not trying to be rude, but the VMA stage is something that people are fighting and clawing to get on. And so you have somebody like Cardi B, who has like currently like the #3 song in the country. She has to do the pre-show because she's technically a new artist and not important enough to be on the main stage. And then you had somebody like Julia Michaels, who has a really great song and who was nominated for some special award that she was competing with Khalid for. And, you know, they only let her perform for 30 seconds because they got to get to the Taco Bell and Alexia commercials, which I can't stand, by the way. Those Alexia commercials, Alexia, turn on the light. Alexia, dim the lights. I'm like, y'all will find another way to replace slavery every time. But, yeah, I thought I was jacked up. I'm like, y'all could have let Julia Michaels do her full song if Lord was sick. I'm like, first of all, and I seen Contagion. If she had the flu, she should have stayed home. Don't be passing that crap around. You know how pissed I would have been if I was one of the dancers? And they got to lift her up and throw her and all this stuff? Hell no, then I got to be sick. And you know Trump about to snatch everybody health care in like 2 more months anyway. I ain't playing around with Lord. See, that's exactly how the Black Plague went around. Because folks don't know how to stay home when they sick. Anyway, so yeah, that Lord performance, y'all can keep that whole thing. It is what it is. I do like Lord, but listen, if you are not up to it, stay home. Let somebody else get the stage. And plus, it just... Anyway, yeah, I don't know what that was about. They tried that. I told you, I saw Contagion. He just had a Black Plague and all the crap spread around. Anyway, what else? Oh, Fifth Harmony performed. I thought it was interesting because they had me fooled. I thought all 5 of them had got back together for a quick second, and then I saw the 5th person randomly disappear. I was like, oh, they shady. But some people got mad about that. I was like, I don't think it's that serious. Camilla left the group. What y'all mad at them for? Like, I'm sure they was just as pissed when old girl quit the group. They probably had all kind of plans and everything, and somebody told Camilla she was the Beyonce of the group, and so she thought she could go solo, and I was like, well, I would have thought it would have been one of the other girls to go solo first. It is what it is. But their performance, I enjoyed. It was pretty good. And if you follow me, I've been real tough on Fifth Harmony for a long time because I just always say something about them just is not cohesive to me. But I've noticed they've gotten better. Like, I feel like when they did the That's My Girl song on either it was the Billboard or the AMAs, I felt that was one of their stronger performances. That's when Camilla was still in the group. And then this one was actually pretty good to me. There was still some things they could have worked out, but I like that I feel like they're really trying to work on their brand. And Normani, to be real honest, I ain't trying to say much, but I think this might be Fifth Harmony's last album because I see a bunch of solo acts ready to branch out. And Normani caught my eye the entire time. And I'm not just saying that because she's the black girl in the group. Because there's another girl in the group that kind of gets it in too that I actually think has a better voice than Normani. But Normani just has this kind of showmanship and this kind of stage presence I'm not seeing from the other ones. And yeah, but I don't know. We'll see what goes on with Fifth Harmony. It was funny though with that whole 5th member disappearing. You know, Destiny's Child wouldn't have been able to do that back in the day because they would have had to have 3 people jump off. And then, or if it was like the 1970s and they had like the Supremes, because you know there was 8 Supremes, it would have been Diana Ross standing on the stage by herself. All 7 other girls would have to jump off at some point. But no, Fifth Harmony, I enjoyed it. I wish they would have performed the other song they got, the new song. They literally just had a video come out like 2 days ago. I forgot what it's called, but yeah. Oh, and then Gucci came out, Gucci Mane. I kind of thought it was dope. He had his fiance on stage with him. I was like, I know that's right, because she cussed him out in the car. I was like, listen, you're not going to be up there with no video girls or nothing. If you're going to have a video girl, it's going to be me. Like, that's all it's going to be. So, that was cool. I like that. That was funny. Yeah, Fifth Harmony, great performance. I'm anxious to see where they're going to go. I just see all of them branching out and going solo. Because that's how they were brought together anyway. They were all solo acts, and, you know, they ended up being pushed into a group together. But I see them shining better as solo acts, or at least 2 of them. I ain't gonna say which 2 aside from Normani. But so that was that. I missed the Linkin Park piece. I totally missed it, but I'm sure it was great. Miley Cyrus. Side note, I didn't know she had a sister. I did not know that girl with the glasses was her sister. I thought that was like some Yoko Ono reincarnated, even though Yoko Ono's not dead. Like, I didn't know that was her sister. I was like, okay. But Miley did her performance. It was alright. She gave a nice vocal. I don't know. Miley's not my kind of artist right now. But I do like that she's trying to evolve her artistry and she's trying to do something, just, you know, she's trying to evolve and be a little different. So cool for her, but I wasn't really too crazy over the performance. And then Demi Lovato performed. And so here's my 2 cents on Demi. I really liked the song and I really liked the vocals she gave. And I've always liked Demi Lovato. But my issue is I don't like the fact that all of these pop girls get the luxury of going back and forth between being like extra R&B, hip hop, I'm black this week, and then they get to go back to being white when they want to, and everything like that. And either way, no matter what, you know, lane they go in, they're always gonna get radio support. Because I think that Demi Lovato song is a really good song. I was like, this is dope. But then I was like, you know, but if 7th Street had the same song, she wouldn't have been performing it on no VMAs. It wouldn't have been on the radio. It wouldn't be a hit. You know, if Sierra was well, I'm not gonna use Sierra because it requires a different kind of vocal ability for that kind of song. But to be honest though, even if I did say Sierra or somebody else, it wouldn't get that same exposure. Like, I think it's kind of jacked that, you know, a lot of the pop girls, because of how they look and because of how the industry is structured, they get the luxury of going back and forth between being extra R&B, having a few rappers on their song and doing everything like that, and then doing a whole 180 and doing folk the next week. Like, that crap kind of gets on my nerves because they get the luxury of having artistic freedom, but a lot of black artists are not given that same privilege. And so I'm like, that's a bull. But Demi Lovato, I won't take that out on her. That's just the industry. But I thought she had a really great performance. I enjoyed the song. I liked the vocals she gave. It kind of sounds like Chance the Rapper's No Problem. But yeah, so Demi was cool. Pink, she received the Video Vanguard Award. I think it's deserved. I always like Pink. Pink is dope. Now, Pink, I need her to acknowledge her first album. She just wants to refuse to acknowledge that she at one point was an R&B act, even though I just gave this whole speech about Demi. But Pink, I've always liked her. I like her versatility. I'm glad she wasn't flying in this performance. You know, she loves to fly and give you the Cirque du Soleil Soul Circus Festival performance every time. Because, you know, every time I see her, I always look at her waistline to see if she got that belt, to see if she's about to into the air. But this time she stayed down. She let the car fly, but the car just kind of hovered and she jumped on back down. So I was like, okay, cool. Pink always gives a good vocal. I really, really like What About Us, her new single. I think the video is awesome. I like the message behind it. And I like that Pink is just very transparent and very honest. And I like the speech she gave to her daughter to empower her. I think that's a very loving thing you can do as a parent, is to, you know, make your child feel like they're the most important person in the world in front of all millions of people. I thought that was beautiful. So Pink is always awesome to me. Now, MTV, y'all got about one more year to skip past Missy Elliott with this Video Vanguard Award. Like, Missy is pretty much the bread and butter of what the imaging was like for all of the 2000s when it came to music videos, and y'all are still acting like she hasn't contributed. And the part that scares me, or not even scares me, is as the years continue to pass on, I can see her not receiving it, because it's going to get to the point where she gets too old and the up-and-coming generations really don't know who she is because they barely know her now, and it'll get to the point where they just don't acknowledge her. I see that happening. So y'all, next year there's no reason why Missy shouldn't get this award at this point. I don't know who else is more deserving before Missy at this point, but yeah, because honestly, Missy probably should have got it before Pink, but it is what it is. Who else? Oh, it's Alessia Cara. She did the song, was that Beautiful? I like the message behind the song. It was a cool performance. At this point, I was tired, man. This show was on for like 9 days, so my energy was gone. I was losing it. I was over here nodding and everything else, and I was setting up and checking work emails and everything else while she was performing, but hers was cool. And then right after was like the performance with Logic and Khalid, and she came back out again, and they did the whole, what was it, the live song, or the, you know, that was a great message how they did that, the visual and all. I'm like, okay, great. I like that MTV took an approach this year to kind of be more outspoken about just social issues that, you know, is going on. MTV used to do that back in the day with like the whole Rock the Vote and everything, and then over the past few years they just got very, very like selective and mute about what was going on. So it was kind of cool that MTV was a little bit more outspoken this time, but I was like, okay, y'all doing all this political stuff. I just want you to know a huge demographic of your voters, or your freaking viewers, they voted for Trump, so talk to them about that. But anyway, moving on. Let me see. Oh, okay, so I had to get clarification. I didn't realize that 30 seconds to Mars is different from 30 seconds to Summer. I'm gonna need y'all to be more creative with the names, people. Like, y'all getting people confused. Especially, I don't pay attention to half the new acts because they're just not my kind of artist. So I need y'all to have that together. Get more creative with the names, please. That performance was okay, but I didn't know if they was putting like a curse on me or something. So I wasn't really looking at the TV because it was all kind of stuff going on. I was like, absolutely not today. But I did like the song. And then, what was it, DNCE? They had a performance with Rod Stewart. We haven't seen Rod Stewart since Tonight's the Night, and most of these kids probably didn't even know who Rod Stewart was. That was a fun little performance. It was different. I like that they did at least acknowledge somebody from before 2005, so that was cool. And then Katy Perry closed the show. I like Swish Swish, or at least the chorus, but Katy, I don't know what that performance was about. I understand Katy's probably going through some stuff, and you Katy cats, whatever y'all call yourselves, y'all not really buying Katy's album like that. Y'all can help your girl out a bit. She's definitely kind of going through a dry spell at the moment, but I thought she would have had a better performance. Like, you did the Super Bowl, Katy. You know, after somebody's performed at the Super Bowl, I just expect that your standard of performing will always be up here. And the performance was just, it was so-so. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. It was just there. Like, Nicki pretty much made that performance. And so, I like Swish Swish. I like any song that got a good funky bass line, especially if it kind of has like a house vibe to it. Like, so that's a pretty fun song. But I thought Katy was going to come harder because you know that Taylor's video was coming out today, so you were supposed to be ready to have everything on deck. But it is what it is. As far as her hosting, I think they need to let the comedians host the show because they're not, I don't know, something about having other entertainers, it's just not quite working. I did like the bit where she was having that, she had like that random paparazzi interview and the person asked her if she was jumping A. Ramsey. I thought that was funny. But, I don't know. I think they should hold off on letting the other entertainers host because it's been like miss and miss and miss every time. But it is what it is. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on the VMAs. Overall, I think it was a much better show than last year. There was some highlights. There was some good moments. I like this Khalid dude. I like that he's getting his shine. I really like his, what is it, Young, what's it, Young, Dumb, and Broke or something like that. I really like that video. It just came out. I like his energy, so that's cool for him. And I really like the Julia Michaels girl. I wish they would have let her have a full performance. I really like that song. I remember she performed it at the Grammys. That was the first time I was introduced to her, and I was like, okay, she's cool. So I liked her. Overall, I like that there was a little bit more artistry this year in comparison to last year. Less gimmicks. And I like this whole free-spirited movement that all these entertainers are going in, where everybody's really just comfortable being themselves. That's cool. And so overall, MTV, it was cool. Still a little long. You know, folks gotta get up and go to work, but that's just me, because then again, at this point, I'm not the target audience for the VMAs anymore, so it is what it is. So share your 2 cents. I'm out. Subscribe. Also, Symphonic Euphoria is out on Spotify, iTunes, whatever you want to call it. Just stick to my channel, find it. Alright, I'm out.